Welcome, all of you. How are you all?
Good evening, ma'am.
Nice to see you all.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
All good? How was your day today?
Good, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Waiting for a minute for everyone to settle down.
I think you can start with the session, Elizabeth, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. So, today we're going to explore how we can create inclusive classrooms for 21st century, where every child feels valued, supported, and capable of success. Okay, what comes to your mind when we say inclusion? Can you please type it in the chat? What comes to your mind when we hear the word inclusion, and especially in the context of classrooms? I'm waiting. I'll give you 30 seconds, teachers. Yes, feeling of belongingness. Thank you, Swati ma'am. Thank you. That's right. Being heard and taken into account. Thank you, Sandhya. Yes.
Ma'am, it could be active participation also.
Active participation. That is good. That's correct. So, I would give you, thank you, Deepa Rawat, ma'am. Thank you, Vandana. Students of all abilities are taught together and they participate actively. Thank you. Thank you, teachers, for giving me these responses. So I will give you a few words to think about. Equality. What do you think about this equality, diversity, support, belongingness, and opportunity?
Ma'am, equality means every child should get an equal opportunity in the class, excluding the gender, excluding the grades, whatever it is, every child should have an equal opportunity to participate and give his own contribution. As a teacher also, we have to treat them equally.
Yes, thank you. And there is diversity, there is belongingness, which you also, some of you pointed this word out, and support. No, we support different type of learners and give opportunity to the every learner. So inclusion is not another educational initiative. It's a good teaching, and the goal is not perfection, but it is progression. Okay. Now let us reflect. Consider one student who struggled in your class. What made learning difficult? Was it the student or was it the learning environment?
I believe learning environment, ma'am.
Right. Learning environment. So think of some students who need that support, and who creates that learning environment for us. We create it ourselves. So inclusion is asking us to move from what's wrong with the student to what barriers are getting in the way. So our thinking has to shift. There should be a paradigm shift. So the key thing here is we need to move from what's wrong with the student. Why many times we keep asking this question: the student is not learning, not paying attention, and so many other things which we have. So from there, we need to move to what barriers are getting in the way. What do you think, teachers? What do you think about this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. True.
Thank you, Rita ma'am. Thank you. So for 21st century, what are the skills that are required? And what do the classrooms have? What type of children we have in the classrooms? So I gave some pointers here. Please see different learning styles. There are multiple languages, neurodiverse learners with ADHD, autism, and various other abilities that they have. They are neurodiverse learners. And then you have children coming from diverse cultures, diverse backgrounds, and digital natives. These days, children are digital natives. Who are digital natives? Children who from the beginning they know what is social media, how to handle all these digital gadgets. Don't you think our classroom is full of this?
Yes, ma'am.
And they also come from various family situations. Their needs are different. Their learning needs are different. How many of these characteristics are present in your classroom, ma'am? One or two? You may type in the chat or say unmute yourself and speak.
Ma'am, 4.
Oh, yes. Yes. The challenge is not diversity. Diversity is quite normal. The challenge is designing learning that works for everyone. Okay, so that is what we are going to understand, how to design our learning for everyone. So empowering these students requires, these tailored support for each child. Imagine every student is learning do you think every student can wear the same sized shoe? No, they cannot. No, they cannot wear. So we need to provide executive functioning support to these children. And giving each one what they need, giving each student what they need. Let us understand a little about what is equality, equity, and inclusion. So we give the same support to all the children, like this, giving all the children same sized shoes. Do you think it will work for everyone? Yes, please. Do you think it will work
No,
for everyone?
ma'am.
No,
No,
it
ma'am.
doesn't. It
No.
doesn't work. So then what is this equity? So equity is giving each student the size that they need. Suppose because we are talking about the shoe size. So if we are talking to giving each student the size that they need, then that is equity. So making sure that everyone is actually participating in the race. No one is void of shoes. No one is left out in the race. So that is where we come into picture. So let us think, which of these concepts do schools often confuse? Where are we lagging behind?
Ma'am, we are not providing equity to them because
Yes.
maybe because of shortage of time or whatever it is. period is only of 40 minutes.
Yeah. So
Actual
mostly we
teaching is
follow
30 minutes.
equality.
Equality,
We do
we
that.
try to provide them, but equity is not there.
Yeah.
Because class
Equity.
size is 45.
41%.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Deepa ma'am.
Ma'am, we are providing equality, but
Yeah.
equity is not being provided. The
Yes.
reason being the class size is only maximum to 45, 46. And a period duration is, I believe, 35 to 40 minutes.
Yes. I
We
totally
cannot
agree
deal
with you.
individually with students.
Yes. I totally agree with you. So we should find out some ways to overcome these challenges. So today we are going to see why this inclusion matters. Is it beneficial for students? Is it good for the teachers? So for students, it improves achievement, engagement, and well-being. So when students feel that they belong here, they are more willing to take risks. They ask questions and then learn. Don't you think when a student asks questions, they learn better than passive listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because
So,
their participation is more, and we know where their interest comes from. And by questions, we know which level they have understood the topic or the subject.
right. It gives us a good feedback. Who is learning, who is not learning, to what level they have learned, have they learned the concept completely? So all these things we can gauge when they ask questions, when they are more willing to participate in whatever activity that we have created for them. So uh, we will learn. And how is it better for us? We are creating a positive classroom. We are creating a positive classroom. So why it matters in this 21st century? Why the inclusive schools matter in the 21st century? Do you agree with these pointers, ma'am? So we are going to create future ready skills in the students. Do you agree that these skills are required for the students? So what will our students require in 2035, for example, if we think about 2035, about 9 years from now? So don't you think they require this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. The student required all these points because
Yeah.
the student needs more creative.
Thank you, Nipur ma'am. Thank you. Inclusive classrooms provide daily opportunities for them to learn these skills. So these opportunities are not for once in a day, once in a year, or once in a term, but they are available. These skills, when we start doing our lessons using these techniques of inclusive classroom, then every day they have these opportunities to learn these skills. So inclusion is about everyone, isn't it? It is not only for the children with disabilities, it is also for the gifted learners, children who come from various backgrounds, and there may be children who are coming from first generation learners also. And also it is about including those children with emotional needs, behavioral needs, and also children who are experiencing various barriers. So the barriers can you suggest some more of such barriers, ma'am? Anyone? Any more barriers children face and or we face to include? I have listed a few. Okay. let's move on. So it is the inclusion is not about a category of students. No, it is about all students. We are not teaching just a certain category of students. We are supposed to teach all students, right? That is what our NEP also suggests, that everyone needs to be included. So we are doing our lessons differently because we cater to everyone. So what is the difference between integration and inclusion? Yes, ma'am. Can you see that? Can you see this? So as we mentioned earlier, it is about equality and equity. So now we are going towards equity and we are going towards inclusion. It is about belonging, not just being present in the class. So children can be the school policies. The schools may implement all these policies and then bring all the children from various backgrounds and various learning abilities into the classroom. They are present, but who creates that belongingness? That creating the belongingness is our responsibility as a teacher. Do you agree with that? Do
Yes,
you agree
ma'am.
with that? Yes. And so participating, contributing, and being valued is what is inclusion. So it is a sense of belonging in the classroom is that inclusion we as teachers create. The schools may do a part, but the actual work we create. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are our barriers for learning? What are our barriers? Physical barriers. What can be the physical barriers?
Ma'am, physical barrier means limited resources, like, the time foundations, like, what we exactly want to do, but still there is a limited resources, like, we cannot do that kind of thing. We are bounded with certain things. So physically, sometimes we cannot do. We want to do, but the circumstances or the available conditions are like that we are unable to perform such activities. So we are
Right,
limited to that.
right, right. And then the classroom layout, how the classrooms are infrastructure. This is about infrastructure. Yeah, a crowded classroom. Yes, ma'am. Vandana, ma'am. We create.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then uh, what about this instructional barriers? So if the lesson is entirely lecture based, then all may not be able to grasp the lesson. Do you agree?
Ma'am, they lose interest also at times.
Yes, they lose the interest. See, we ourselves lose because we don't, human mind cannot focus for 40 minutes in one go. So we need
Yes, ma'am.
activities in between. We need to interact with each other. That is why we have this question and answers. We have these responses so that when we interact with each other, then our learning becomes better. Similar uh, thing is necessary in our classes. So what about these social barriers? Sometimes we say you sit away from your friends, you're talking too much. We do that. Will that help a lot?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am, it doesn't help. The child feels bullied.
Yeah,
Somebody is bullying me.
yeah. Sometimes we also bully them, telling them, no, you just don't do anything. You be here, be there. So,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. The problem is not within the learner, but we have to create a situation where the child becomes enthusiastic to learn. That we have to remove these barriers. So it's very good. Our barriers, everyone says these are barriers, they remove the barriers, do this, do that. But we as teachers know when we are there in the classroom, what we do, what are our challenges, how to overcome them. Let us discuss a little about these challenges here, ma'am. Large class sizes. That is one very big challenge. Don't you think?
Yes, ma'am.
We think already there are 45 students and then the time is limited. We need to do a lot of other things. We need to change our lesson plans, what to do. So that's a large classroom is a big challenge. How about the time constraints?
I'm over 1 minute to each child. Hardly.
True. Time constraints. I totally agree with you. I empathize with you. I too go through time constraints. We have to complete the syllabus and we also have to listen to the students about what they are facing. So time is a big constraint. So here, what I understand here is inclusion is not about doing more work. It is about making smarter instructional choices. Okay? It is not about doing more work, not creating 40 assignments for each child or 40 lesson plans for each child. It is preparing it in a different way within the time that is permitted for us. So what are the core principles? We need to go through all these things. Are we giving equity, participation, accessibility, and all these things? Inclusion is not lowering the standards, ma'am. Inclusion is not ignoring our concepts or moving on fast. It is about maintaining high expectations while providing different pathways to success. So how to achieve this? How to achieve this is universal design for learning. So we provide multiple ways to engage with the children, and also multiple ways to learn, and also multiple ways of assessment also. So they can show their learning in different way, not just writing. Okay, so if we appreciate in the classrooms how they are learning and how they are showing the learning, maybe at the end of the term they may be willing to write more creative and apt answers when they have to do a summative assessment. So how do we demonstrate these or how do we provide these multiple ways to engage or multiple ways to learn? Any inputs from all of you, ma'am?
Then we can divide them into small groups, so that when there is a huge capacity in the class, we can make a small divisions like, peer-to-peer learning, where
Right. There are
make a
multiple
group
ways
leader,
to
or
learn.
this will enhance the group learning
Yes,
also.
yes,
Yeah, this kind of activity can inculcate in the class, and which we already do also. We try to do, because the reaching out to one-on-one student in a 40-minute of period is next to
yes,
impossible. So we try to make such kind of efforts to do, try to get reach to the children. In remedial classes also, we focus on the slow learners. So
right, right. So thank you, Deepa ma'am, and thank you, Manpreet Kaur ma'am. Through speaking, through videos, and giving various ways to learn them. So normally, when we teach, we talk and students listen. That's how is our normal, the regular or the traditional way of teaching.
But ma'am,
But then
it's one way, one way.
one way. That is one way.
Both of them, the teacher and the child, should be involved.
Right. I totally agree. All lessons cannot be put into various visuals and discussions and various videos and all. Sometimes children have to listen what the teacher is explaining. Okay. So that is one way. So we can also add on visuals. We can add on discussion questions. We can add on uh, these quizzes and those things, isn't it? And we can invite discussions. We can invite practices like participating, drawing, or writing the answers and all. So in your experience, which classroom would engage more learners? Which type of classroom? The very first one, or there's other practices? Which practice would engage more learners?
Ma'am, practice reflection and visual discussion.
Visual discussion. Thank you, Rita ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. So, when would a child interact with us? When we build yes, ma'am. Yes, please.
When there will be a discussion, ma'am, there will be a discussion question. When you ask questions like, open-ended questions to a certain topic, then there will be a discussion and involvement of the students. Only a
you.
lecture lessons will not have a involvement of a student.
Right. Very
That
right.
will be
Very
only a
right.
one way.
Very right. So thank you, Deepa ma'am. So
Welcome, ma'am.
and also when they feel that when we connect with them, don't you think so? When we connect with them, when we build a relationship with them, don't you think they will express more?
Yes, ma'am.
So
they become more confident and they feel they belong to somebody.
Yes. So how do we make feel welcome and expressive? Like when we respect
Ma'am, a
their
small
views.
appreciation.
Yes, appreciation. When we listen to them. Don't you think so? And now also, when we listen to each other and we respect each other's views, we feel belong. We feel that we have that sense of belongingness, and we do feel involved in this activity, isn't it? In this learning. Similarly, children also. It is true for students also. So these are the various characteristics of inclusive schools, collaborative learning, like Deepa ma'am was mentioning, peer learning, and then positive relationships and accessible resources also. Some students need pictures, like you all mentioned. Some students need pictures. Some students need videos, demonstrations. Some students need just listening. Just listening. They just want the teacher, though it may be there, the same thing may be there in the textbook. But when the teacher explains it to them, they understand better. That is some students. And then, that is how we do it in the class. Now, inclusive schools, we go beyond this inclusive schools and differentiated learning. Till now, we have been focusing on differentiated learning in the classroom. So what is this inclusiveness? Inclusiveness in the schools is about collaborating with family also, and also the policies. So that is the broader aspect. But in the classroom, we create inclusiveness inside the classroom. Okay. So this you already mentioned that we need to do all these models. And how do children participate? Some part we can ask them. This is one strategy. We can ask them. Some can speak. Everyone cannot speak. If everyone speaks, all our time will be utilized in that. What about asking them to? Some have asked some to write also, or ask someone to draw.
Yes,
Or
ma'am. It could be role play also.
Yes, it could be role play as well. It could be role play as well. So inclusion expands our participating opportunities, not just in one way. So they can use digital tools. Maybe they can go home and tell us what they have learned. They can send us messages, or they can draw something, or they can discuss among each other. We can give them a 2-minute time to discuss among each other what they have learned. So I feel these strategies to make them participate will help the child to understand the basic concepts. The basic concepts. Deep learning, they will have to do the deep learning, but then at least the basic concepts in the class will be learned better when we ask them to participate in this way.
Ma'am, in English, we have jam session. That is just a minute.
That's a very good thing, ma'am. That's a very good thing. So you mentioned the peer learning, pairing them up, and some want independent work also. Some children do only independent work. They want to do independently. So we should encourage those children also. Collaboration and confidence, it builds their confidence when we put them in small groups, because some of them are very timid to speak up. But among their friends, they speak. So their confidence is built. So these are some strategies to help the student express themselves, express their learning things. So when teacher is explaining and using only lecture method, what do you think are the barriers that you see? Can you please type it in the chat? Okay. We will passive listening. Thank you, Radha Krishnan.
Ma'am, a barrier, sometimes number of the students are introvert.
Yes.
They don't open up.
Right. So that is a barrier. So how we overcome is what we discussed also, put them into groups, or they can write what they have learned, or they can draw about what they have learned, and that helps them learn, understand, and express their learning. So we will take a small example. Say this is a small example. We are doing this photosynthesis for the class. So here, instead of only lecture, we can, in the classroom, what we can do is we can draw a diagram, show a video, do a role play, put a concept map, all these things in the same time, in the same 40 minutes that we have. So these are some ways. Any other ways that you have that you can add on to this? Any other ways? Suppose you are teaching, imagine you are teaching photosynthesis in the classroom, or any other lesson that you are teaching. So any other ways can we add on to this?
Ma'am, show them the reality. Like we keep a small potted plant in the sunshine, and
yeah.
then we water it. Then coming to photosynthesis cycle, they'll have a better concept of it.
Yes, demonstration is any day better. I agree. Experiential learning, Vandana ma'am.
Learning.
Yes, some children may be mentally absent. Very true, Punita Kaur ma'am. That's right. And quiz also, yes, quiz. Yes, we can add the other thing as quiz. I noticed this after a lesson when I start asking quiz, children become more alert, and they try to answer because they are short questions, asking them, recalling very short concepts. So quiz is a very good way to do the learning process also. So when the children are mentally absent, how do we engage them? Punita ma'am, do you have suggestion? Yes, Vimal, and they look blank. Yes, these are our barriers. You can check with them when they are unable to answer. They're not interested in learning, Vandana. Yes, correct. They're not interested in learning. How do we, we find many like that. So this is our little effort to make them interested. Suppose we draw a diagram, maybe they get interested in learning, or when we do a role play, they may show more alertness. They may show some engagement in the classroom. Do you think so?
Yes, ma'am. They're thinking of maybe the sports period.
Right. Yes. So do you think we need some technology for inclusion? We do. We do need some technology for this inclusion. So we can have some read alouds software for children who have hearing impairment, or some translation tools for those who do not understand the language, the medium of instruction, or some other platforms, adaptive learning platforms. So if we focus on how they are learning, how is that technology accessible to them, then maybe they will include that learning. Include
Yes, they'll
Kahoot.
develop interests also.
Ma'am, can you please say that again?
Ma'am, they'll develop interest also.
Yes, interest also. Right, I agree. So, inclusion lens. When we are planning lessons, we need to ask ourselves, who are the children who are struggling? How do I make my lesson for those children who might be left out? And how do I make my lesson for those who might be left out? So how can I provide multiple pathways for success? So if you see these pointers, so do you think we can plan a lesson of, say, for example, this photosynthesis? How do we plan this for such an activity? Or any lesson that you think? Give me one example.
Ma'am, we tell them about the objects, what are the objectives, and then sort of connecting recapitulation also, what they've studied earlier. That will give them a clue.
Okay. And when we are planning that, are we thinking of these students who might be struggling or who might be left out?
Ma'am, here we should include Bloom's taxonomy also.
Yes. Yeah. We do include. Right. So what I'm trying to say here is, when we plan our lessons, if we keep these questions in our mind, maybe it will benefit a few students. And we take it small, one at a time, one student, 1 week. If we take it, maybe by the end of the year, we might be able to help many children, and they might be benefited. Okay. So if we think
Ma'am, in such topics, sorry, ma'am, in such topics, ma'am, what when we are planning a lesson also, what we can do is we can plan one activity or a role play for such as photosynthesis. Like when we were teaching solar systems, like I made someone's sun, some Mars, some Jupiter, you know. So the role play is remembered by they remember they remember how many planets are there, which are closest to the sun. You know, so this kind of role activity, when you plan such activity along with your lesson plan, your purpose is solved. That's what I mean to say. uh, I don't know how right I am, but then like that is my opinion about it. So
Ma'am,
similarly in photosynthesis also, we can try to make it like, you know, some role plays enact so that it will go down to a basic level of the student.
yeah. Yes, ma'am. Jayashree, ma'am, easy explanation. And we change activities according to special learners. Yes, the right. The students are, technology is part of their life, so technology can be integrated with that. So here, Deepa ma'am, that is right. When we are doing our lessons, we can do that role play. And now, let us move on to the assessment. Is it necessary that every assessment requires a written test?
No,
No, ma'am.
ma'am.
No, that's a, two, three people are saying, agreeing on that. Yeah, no, that's right. That is right. Every assessment doesn't require a written test. So we can ask them to express their learning in some of these ways. There could be many. There could be many. You all are teachers, you know. So this we can ask them to. We can ask them to make posters. We can quiz them. Like earlier, one teacher also said, quiz is one thing. Then all this writing, drawing. So these also are ways for us to know that the children are learning. Only written test is not the necessary, is not the only tool for assessment. Anything else
Ma'am,
to add in this, ma'am?
what is
Yes.
exit ticket?
Exit ticket is reflection at the end of the lesson. What have I learned today?
Okay.
What have I learned today? If we ask that question and ask them to write one concept that they have learned or two concepts that they have learned in that particular class, that might stick with them for till the next day when we come back and revise with them. So that is the exit ticket.
Thank you, ma'am.
So here, if we think about what we have done, we know that all this type of students have been there in our classes from many years. We are going through them, we help them, but now we are trying to bring out, make it more visible that we are helping every child. We are bringing equity to every child. So when before planning our lesson plan, we keep these questions in mind. Who are those children who take time to learn? Who are those who are who are not in, who don't pay attention in the class? How do I get to them? How do I reach them? This is all this happens before we go to the lesson, not as a response in the classroom. So if we go take it as a response in the classroom, it becomes very overwhelming and we get exhausted. But when we plan for it and do, then we know that we are going to handle them. We are going to target these learners, these varied type of learners, so that because that's a sustainable practice. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are our questions here, ma'am? Any questions, any inputs?
Then, ma'am, they must be encouraged because there's potential in every learner.
Yeah, there is potential in every learning.
And then, ma'am, why categorize them into intelligent and the weaker ones? All intelligent.
Please come again, ma'am.
Ma'am, why divide them into or categorize them into
Yes.
some are weak, some are good. There should be no every child has got some potential, I believe.
Yeah, every child has got some
It's only
potentials.
the teacher has to see. And
Yeah,
some
we
are
need to,
introverts, some are extroverts.
right. That is what we identify. And we cater to their needs. Some are very fast learners. So we can't
Yes,
keep
ma'am.
them we can't keep them waiting because someone else is learning slow. So we give them some other work so that they are occupied. And there may be a child who has who learns through visual learner. There may be a visual learner. So for that visual learner, we show a video. Or there may be some child who needs your special attention. So we can either you go and help, or you can ask the peer learning. So we do these activities in those 40 minutes that we have. So when we plan it, then we are more successful in achieving this inclusive learning and creating children who, if we go back to the very beginning slides, we need to bring all this critical thinking and empathy to the children for their future. Because children who learn together can work together in the future. And if we create that inclusiveness in our classrooms, when they grow up, they learn to accept different diversities when they face the world in them. So inclusion is not about having all the answers. Do you think we have all the answers for every child?
No, ma'am.
Yes. It is about ensuring that every learner feels that they are seen, that they are valued, that they are respected, and also instill in them a confidence and tell them that they are also capable of success. So that seed that we put in them, that they are capable of success, they also can achieve, maybe sometime it will grow and become a big tree.
Yes, ma'am.
So students may forget many of our lessons, don't you think? They will never remember how we taught, what was the lesson we taught them, or what is that grammar we taught them. They may forget all our lessons, but they will not forget how we made them feel in our classroom. So inclusive classrooms are built. They build on relationships, one student at a time. We can't take all the students and go along. That becomes very overwhelming, and we may not be able to do justice. Any more questions? One student at a time, and one week, one student, if you can do that. So by the end of the year, maybe you will be able to do.
Understand them.
Yes.
Ma'am, it was a wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am. Any more questions that you have?
Anything clarified, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And it was nice interacting with you. And it was very good learning along with you. You have given me a lot of inputs. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we please plan one lesson for the next class that you go, how you will learn to, how you will plan to include everyone in your lesson plan. Go with the plan and you will surely be able to touch one student at least. Please plan and go, and don't be reactive. Reactively don't answer them. If you plan, you will be successful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you,
dearest
ma'am.
participants, those who wish to give your feedback to the trainer can come forward and give. Rita ma'am, I would really love if you could speak a bit more about on your feedback for the trainer of the day.
Whatever ma'am said, I fully agree, sir. Number of the doubts are clarified in my mind, and I believe others must be also enjoying. We have to create such an atmosphere where we don't have like students very positive, very intelligent, but mediocre students can be brought to that level by providing them encouragement.
Oh,
That's it, sir.
Great. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Namrata, ma'am, Ramandeep, ma'am, anyone else who wish to give us a feedback for the session of the day? Punita, ma'am, how can I not ask you to give a feedback? Punita, ma'am.
Sir, session was no doubt very, very explanatory, and all the concepts of inclusiveness were explained, and many ideas were given to for the inclusive classroom. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So thank you so much, Elizabeth, ma'am, for a wonderful session
Thank you,
like
sir.
this.
Thank you,
No
sir.
doubt, it has served the purpose, and looking for much more sessions like this from your end in future.